Hey, everybody. This week on What Do You Got? Purple Urkel. Stay tuned.
Purple Nurple?
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Ed Smith.
I'm Tim Fulton.
And this is What Do You Got?
What do you got?
What do you got is when I just sit here, I say, what do you got? And Tim tells me what he's got. Tim, what do you got?
Purple Urkel
Purple Urkel.
from Family Matters. Do you know what this is?
I know who Urkel is.
You saw a commercial on this and everything. So, Purple Urkel is a new strand of marijuana.
Oh, that's right.
And it was made by...
That show was so bad.
That show is so bad.
I forgot in all the badness.
So, the actual guy's name is Julia White. He was an actor on Family Matters. He played Urkel.
Mattles?
Mattles? He played Urkel, the nerd. And now he's coming out with his own strain of marijuana called the Purple Urkel. And last weekend, we watched the Askren versus Jake Paul fight. No comment. And
I got all the comments.
we're still a little bitter about it. And they had, it wasn't even a commercial. It was a segment. Like,
Yeah.
he got high as a kite with Snoop Dogg promoting this thing. And I was talking to your cousin about it, and she actually had a good point. She's like, doesn't ABC own the rights to Urkel? How are people allowing this? There's money. But like,
How did any of that show get allowed?
oh my God. That was the most poorly produced show I've ever seen in my life.
When we were watching that show that this epic commercial was on, I thought that the main card was coming up next, and then you guys had to remind me that we had only watched 2 fights.
It had been like 2 hours.
It had been almost 3, I think. And I was like, no, there was more than 2 fights. And you like, no, it's 2 fights. I'm like, no. Yeah. And I said no. And you guys said yeah. Ice Cube was good, the best. Snoop Dogg was good. Everyone else, no comment.
That show was a whole load of nonsense.
It was a bunch of lip syncing, girls with fat asses spreading their booty cheeks in chainmail with no crowd.
And it wasn't even good.
It was like a bunch of strippers about to get off their shift, and they were just like, "Yeah, I got 5 minutes. I'm not putting any effort into this. I'm just gonna, yeah,
No one's watching this anyway.
yeah." And then the fight happened.
Yeah.
So Purple Urkel.
So Purple Urkel. So coming from someone who doesn't abide all the time, we're gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
What do you? I don't even know how to phrase it. He even was his character in the commercial segment thing.
Did I do that?
He became friggin'. I think at one point they even had Stefan come on there. Do you remember
It's
Stefan?
Stefan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stefan walked out of the smoke.
Yeah.
With like pigeons and shit behind him.
I just find the whole thing odd. Like,
They
did
don't
he
have-
make it? Did he actually go to a bunch of weed scientists and say, I want a new strain of marijuana that I'm going to promote? Or did someone say, hey, we made this. We need a celebrity endorsement. You know who we should get? Urkel.
You know what it shows? It shows that all those years of people giving actors everything shit for doing drugs, it's just all about making money.
All about
They're
making-
like, oh, weed's okay with public now, the people that spend money.
Yeah.
We're going to sell it
Yeah.
all.
And it works because you want to know the worst part? I kind of want to try it.
Purple Urkel.
I kind of want to. It's one of those things where you're just like, I got to do it once.
You got to do some Purple Urkel. It's fun to say. It
It is fun to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they're just. I think that everyone's having trouble coming up with new shit.
That's one of the things.
And I think that they're just regurgitating old stuff. I mean, Family Matters was on 30 years ago?
I mean, it started 30 years ago.
In the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did it end? 96?
I don't know. It definitely ended late 90s. I remember not even watching it to the end because there was one point where they...
Late 90s?
There was one point where they swapped the mother. And I remember one day seeing an episode...
Was that Fresh Prince?
maybe.
They swap Aunt Viv.
Well, they did that early because the original Aunt Viv apparently was a nut job, so they swapped her out.
I heard she just didn't get along with William Smith.
It might be a little A, a little bit of B.
Yeah, but
they did that in this. They swapped her out by season 3.
so let's look up Family Matters real quick
That's what I'm doing.
on the big screen here.
No, we'll do the big screen.
Family Matters. American sitcom from, I'm going to guess 80s. 89 to 97.
I told you, late 90s.
Wow. I used to watch this show all the time.
Oh.
Can't remember any specific episode of this except when he goes into that machine that makes him Stefan. And then Carl just being like, Steve! And almost having a heart attack every episode.
The only episode I remember, and I don't know why, they had a rummage sale. It was like a yard sale, except they didn't have a yard in the show, so they just had people walk into the house and buy things. And
sounds like they're selling some Purple Urkel.
They're selling some Purple Urkel. I think it was a cop too. And someone offered the young girl, money for a blanket. And she was like, Grandma will be so excited. I made money selling her blanket. And she sold it. And the grandma was all upset because it was a family blanket and it had been in their family for generations.
That's why you don't have a garage sale
in your house. That's how you sell a child on accident. I'll take one, please. That's my daughter.
I do know that one of the sisters, when she was like 9 or 13, she like walked up to her room one episode and they just wrote her out of the show. She was like, I'll be right back. I'm going to my room. She just never came out.
That happened in Happy Days, too.
With who?
The very first episode, there's an older brother, and he's playing basketball, and he goes up to his room, and he never comes back down.
They murdered him. The Cunninghams.
And they
never
killed
that son of a
never
bitch.
referenced him ever. Could you imagine being the actor and being like, I was in that show? And people would be like, no, you weren't.
I used to watch Happy Days all the time. Oh, it's funny that you said that. I was watching one of Rogan's podcast, and he had a fucking story about that when you're saying, like, oh, I was in a TV show.
Yeah.
Crazy story. I'll sum it up for you real quick because I know you don't watch that show. He had a friend who was a drug addict when he was younger, and he got put into a mental institution for a little bit. And they had
Heavy Fast
news or CBS, whatever the hell it was. But Rogan used to be on an episode or on a show called Hardball or News Radio.
Yeah.
And he was saying like, oh, one of my best friends is on this show. So for like all day long, and I guess all week, whatever, he was telling people like, oh, it's going to be on. My best friend's in this show. But he's like totally normal person. He just had a drug problem, had to go there for court. There was one episode of the show that Rogan was not in. And that episode played. So he's sitting there like, where's your friend, bro? Your friend, fucking liar. You fucking crazy person. He's like, no, I swear. He's on the show. Just got douched over by life.
Oh,
yeah.
sucks.
Can you imagine? You're in a mental institution and you've been talking the whole time. And now you're like, fuck, I might be staying here for a while. Yeah. But, yeah, Purple Urkel. Where can we get some Purple Urkel?
We're in Jersey. It's not available yet.
Well,
soon.
Where could we allegedly get some Purple Urkel?
Behind the library.
All right, he's in. Come on.
Urkel himself. So I'm calling it now. Soon we're going to, remember Full House, Uncle Joey?
Yeah.
The woodchuck?
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling it now. We're going to get some woodchuck weed.
Woodchuck weed?
Yeah.
What about, what's some other one? Fresh Prince of Purple Haze? What are some other shows? Ooh, Saved by the Bong.
Saved by the Bong.
Yeah.
I would make fun of his nerd, but he's dead.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He died recently.
Oh. Screech. Dustin Diamond.
They could just call it Screech.
Yo, you getting screeched this weekend, bro? I was screeched out of my mind.
So was Screech.
We're gonna make this a thing.
I'm getting fucking screeched out of my mind tonight.
Getting screeched.
Straight to hell we go.
We're getting squeeched. All right.
They can use some cartoon characters too. It'll be like the new breakfast cereals, except weed.
Screechies.
I'm thinking like
Screechios.
get your Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
What's that? What's a Darkwing Duck?
You've never heard of Darkwing Duck?
Is it a
It was
TV show?
Yeah, it was a TV show in the 90s. Darkwing Duck.
Is it DuckTales?
get
I know DuckTales.
No, it's kind of similar, but it was Darkwing Duck.
No,
It was similar,
never
but-
even heard of this.
What? All right, I'm going to have to play the intro.
Hold on. Let me just look up Darkwing.
I think they're making it. They're renewing it.
Darkwing Duck. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego Duck? That's what you meant
Or
to say.
Darkwing Duck. Leave me alone, dude.
I never watched this show. What was it about?
I don't know. Caped Crusader. It was basically Batman, except a duck and not as cool.
He's got purple on, so it works with the weed thing.
Darkwing Haze. That's what I'm going. And so they can already have the cartoon character attached to it. Anyway,
Screeched.
let us know some other funny puns you would give weed names based on cartoon characters or 90 characters.
Getting slatered. Getting preppied.
Ooh, I like that one.
Get some prep.
You
Got
got, a
any
little
prep?
You got a little prep in your step, bud.
Got a little prep in your step. Got slatered last weekend. Turn up the AC. I'm getting slatered.
Sounds like a terrible frat party.
Oh, yeah. We're making T-shirts, sir.
We're making T-shirts.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for our weed T-shirts, apparently. We'll get you guys next time.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day.